from above. We're so happy to be here today, and we have a very exciting show for you. We are working on our series, Dreams That Change the World. This has been a really exciting series so far, hasn't it?
And I really love when Ted prepares for the message for you guys. I love the research that he does, all the facts that he's sharing with me. I've been excited for this last 3 weeks because so many beautiful things had happened through dreams.
Oh yeah.
Incredible inventions, powerful revelations. Things that change the world, things that we perceive the world in the way it is today, changed through the dreams. The people who were actually believers in dreams and were open enough to listen and receive.
And we've talked about scientists, and we've talked about musicians and writers, and all of them had reached, very high levels, and it all was inspired and started through a dream they had at night while they were sleeping. And that's what we're here to talk to you about, is we want to get you excited about it and realize that you can have the dreams that you have at night are bringing information that can totally change things. Today is part 3, and it's called True Genius. Where's that true genius coming from? Is it about our IQ? Is it about what we have learned and read about? Or is there something else happening that's really what's creating true genius, where you're able to kind of go beyond what other people are already talking about and know, and you're able to step into a space or an area that's a totally new way of thinking, that you're able to work on something completely different?
Well, for me, I believe that Ted is a genius.
Oh, I know that.
Well, I just love the guy. But you guys know that there are a lot of wonderful people who could be the genius in their own right. They only need to tap into their potential, into their gifts. All of us are geniuses in our own right. But some people are extraordinary. And these are the people that we will be talking about today.
Well, yeah. When you think of the word genius, is there someone that comes to mind? besides me. Is there someone?
Nobody else.
Is there someone that comes to mind that you think of when you think of, a genius?
Well, to me, Einstein.
Einstein. Me too. I think that's one
right?
that the minute
because he was a true genius. His character was weird. He was a strange-looking guy. Even today, when we see his picture with his hair, and his facial expression, genius. And what did he do? He changed the way we perceive
he really
the world.
Did. But that's who I think of when I think of a genius. I'm like, wow, it's got to be. First one that comes to mind usually is Einstein, and that's the first person I want to talk about. I have a few people who will talk about how they did something really incredible, and so Einstein, he developed the theory of relativity, and he credited the start of that idea to a dream that he had at night, a nighttime dream, and in that dream, he talked about how he was hurtling down the side of a mountain and looking up at the stars, and as he approached the speed of light, he noticed how the stars changed in appearance. Mm-hmm. He woke up from this dream, and this thought started to stick with him. Now, it's interesting because I did a little bit of homework on this, and I found what it was like. There's a kind of an account from his wife, what it was like the next morning. So he's woken up from this dream now, and he's sitting at breakfast, and she says, during breakfast one morning, he seemed lost in thought and ignored his food. She asked him if something was bothering him. He sat down at his piano and started playing. Mm. He continued playing and writing notes for about a half an hour, and then he went upstairs to his study, where he remained for 2 weeks. And she was bringing him food at that point up to his room. And at the end of 2 weeks, he came downstairs and he had 2 sheets of paper bearing his theory.
Wow.
So the idea
didn't take him long, only 2 weeks.
Right, but
only 2 weeks to change the world.
The
Amazing.
idea had already started in this dream. This is what unlocked it, made him start thinking about something new. He can't eat in the morning. He's already meditating on this, and that was another thing I read about. Is he talked about how he just started to meditate on this idea of how the stars changed the way they appeared as he was approaching the speed of light, and he kept thinking about that, and out of that, of course, came the theory of relativity. It's quite a very interesting way that it happened, isn't it?
Absolutely. Well, his wife was a lucky one as well. She was also married to a genius.
Right. Yeah. Just as lucky as you. But I mean, the point is, what we're saying here is that you too can do this. It's not just, yes, Einstein, yes, we look at him and say, wow, he's a genius. But all of you are dreaming. Everybody dreams, right, Liza?
Everybody dreams.
Everybody dreams. And you know that there are dreams that you're having where you are gaining thoughts and ideas that are different than the norm. Now, Einstein took and he went into his room for 2 weeks and he meditated on this and he focused on this and he started to flesh out what is there. He could tell there's some sort of truth there that he didn't understand, but he knew, he recognized it, and he started to kind of pull it out of there. And so for 2 weeks, he's pulling this truth out and fleshing it out until he comes down the stairs and he's got these 2 papers that now contain his theory.
Incredible. I wish I was there.
Yeah, it sounds pretty exciting.
Yes.
But the point is, you guys can do that too. That's what we've been talking about this series, Dreams That Change the World. Not because we're just highlighting these people, but because we know that's what your potential is too. The dreams are that powerful. In fact, I remember many years back, it was probably also in the 90s or the beginning of 2000, something like that, I was having dreams. And I remember that I would wake up in the morning and I was starting to think, and I was thinking about Einstein's theory of relativity. And I was pondering it, and I was, thinking about all these different ideas, and I had all these questions, and I had kind of received answers for them in my dreams. And then I realized after doing this for several days, maybe even a week or so, I realized, wait a minute, I don't think I'd actually ever sat down and read Einstein's theory of relativity.
So does that mean that you tapped into the same source of information and it was just downloaded into you without you even opening the book and learning?
That's right. That's right. And that's what I went to the bookstore to find out, because I suddenly thought, wait a minute, I don't remember reading that. And so I thought, well, maybe it's not Einstein's theory of relativity. Maybe I'm thinking about something else. Maybe I've created my own theory. But I went to the bookstore, I found it, I read it, and I was like, back in those days they had bookstores, So, and what I found was, yes, it was it. But see, you're right. Now, why don't you talk a little bit about where is this that I tapped into? Because obviously he tapped into something, the information. And here I was able to tap into the same place. So what is that place if everybody can be tapping into that same information?
See, you guys, what I believe is that there are no mysteries at all. It's just us who need to learn how to tap into all the knowledge that there is. See, we were created from somewhere, from some place, and everything that we will ever think or discover was already created as well. And if you think about this place as storage of all the knowing information that we were to discover, it's the storage that is already there, existing in the spiritual realm. You just need to attune yourself to it. How do you do it? If you think about the radio waves, right? To find the station that you want, you need to adjust, right, your radio waves and be on the same length as the radio station that you want to receive. So that's the same thing. You just train yourself to attune to this special wave and whatever subject you're interested in, and you will be kind of gaining access to the information that you're looking for. You can't do it with your mind, because the information is not coming from here. It's not coming from what you already know. Einstein could not create the theory of relativity because nobody knew about it. He never read about it. He never learned anything about it, right? Nobody told him about it. Where did it come from? It came from the source that is outside of Einstein, right? Outside of all of us. This source is there. It's in the spiritual realm, and depending on the subject that you're interested in, you can tune into the source of interest and receive the information. It's kind of like downloading it. Same way you can download into your the information about your destiny, about your future, about possibilities, about different way of healing, improving your job, your career, anything you want. All you need to do is to learn and train yourself how to do it. And see, the dreams are the best tool that you can use to actually train yourself. We were designed this way. I seriously believe that God gave us the dreams at night is as a way to communicate
So
with him.
the dream opened a door. You know, for Einstein, it opened a door to this whole new idea. He now spent the next couple of weeks meditating on the idea. In other
So
words,
what was he
now
doing?
that the
He
door
was
is open,
attuning himself. He was kind of honing this pathway of information. He wanted to get it clear.
so it's a
he
doorway
was
open to an
opening
actual
to
place,
receive it.
in a spiritual place. And it got open in that dream. He keeps meditating, meaning he keeps going through that door,
Yep.
and he keeps gathering more information.
Yes.
And he keeps putting it together now. He's bringing it down and putting it together. And then at the end, he comes down those stairs and he has those 2 sheets
I
of paper.
remember my experience when I was just starting with my spiritual journeys, and I was seeking knowledge, and I was seeking wisdom, I was seeking information on different subjects, and I had few interesting dreams and experiences, visual experiences, where I was taken to the, not the bookstore, the library. It was just incredible place filled with books, spiritual books, and there were even the books of life of people. Obviously, it was representational place because, you know, the book you didn't have to read. It contained the information that you needed, but it was kind of like representation of the subject that you were tuning into. So depending on what I was trying to receive as an information source, you know, I was kind of reaching out to it and taking in my dream, I was taking to this library and pulling out this book. And when I would open it, I was able to receive the information. It was, and still access is there.
So you were
I can always
accessing
go there.
information in that spiritual realm, which we're traveling to every night. And this is the thing for you people at home. There is so many more theories, mysteries, ideas, inventions that have not been received yet, and yet they are there in that realm waiting. And all you need to do is you can set an intention in your dream, you can unlock that door and go through it. That's how I was knowing Einstein's theory without ever having read it. I, in my dream again, had opened the same door. I went to the same place and I started receiving this information. I wasn't studying it. I wasn't having to work to think about it. It was just popping into my mind. That's how I have to describe it. It was just popping in, and I'd be like, oh, that's an interesting idea that he had.
You just need to open yourself to receive it.
Right, exactly. Let's go on to the next.
And another point I want to make, you need to kind of, and that's what I call true humbleness. True humbleness is allowing yourself to think that you don't know everything. People who think that they're too smart, know it all, studied a lot, have a lot of degrees, and know this and know that, and experts on everything, it's much harder for them to tune into this kind of source of information. Okay, they will be just learning more and you know, kind of using their own knowledge to do things that are already known. But if you want to be extraordinary, if you want to go 1 level higher, 10 levels higher, and receive something amazing that nobody else did, you need to kind of put it into your heart that there are a lot of things that you don't know, but you want to. And that's what happens. That sets you up. It gives you an intention, and that intention will automatically propel you forward and open you up to know more and to receive more.
Now, I have another example I want to share with you guys that'll help you to understand how to receive that, how that information is received, how it works. Now, this guy, he has to fall into that category of genius. And his name is Ramanujan, right? Am I pronouncing it right again?
I guess so.
I knew I was going to have trouble with that name. But this guy was born in poverty in India. You might have seen a movie about him, The Man Who Knew Infinity. It came out in 2015. They made a movie about him. But he was a mathematician that really was self-taught. He had gone to a few schools, but majority of it was self-taught, and he was just automatically receiving this information. Now, let me just read a little bit about what he did so you kind of know. He was a mathematical genius, substantial contributions to analytical theory of numbers, elliptical functions, continued fractions, and infinite series, and he proved more than 3,000 mathematical theorems in his lifetime. This guy was prolific. And now here's what's interesting. He credits being able to do this by the fact that a goddess would come to him in his sleep and give him this information, would actually show him these formulas.
Wow.
And this is what really makes him kind of outstanding. And he said that all the time. And that's just amazing.
So he was receiving all these formulas in his dream. And see, what he was describing as a goddess, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was
she
probably...
presented him with complex mathematical formulas over and over, which he could then test and verify upon awakening. Here's an example. While asleep, I had an unusual experience. This is him talking.
Mm-hmm.
There was a red screen formed by flowing blood, as it were. I was observing the screen, and suddenly a hand began to write on the screen.
Oh, wow.
I became all attention, and that hand wrote a number of results in elliptical integrals. They stuck to my mind. As I woke up, I committed them to writing.
Wow, that reminds me of biblical writing.
A hand appears, and starts to
Isn't
write
it
on the
true?
wall. That's right.
Wow, it's like biblical writing.
What's the
Totally.
hand represent in that?
The hand represents power, the power of God. But I believe this hand, and there's
And it also
blood
talks
also.
about the hand. A hand can often appear in visions and dreams as talking about God, the presence of God coming. And even, there was a hand writing on a wall in the book of Daniel. It talked about that.
And it started with blood, and blood represents the truth,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was given the truth, divine truth, through the power of God. That's what this is telling me, but it's totally biblical experience. It's incredible.
Now, another case he described, he would receive visions of scrolls of complex mathematical content unfolding before his eyes.
Amazing.
So these vast scrolls were now unfolding, and he would see these mathematical formulas.
Gorgeous.
So this guy, who was really self-taught for the most part, who had proved all these theories and was able to solve all these problems, and he was receiving it in a divine way, the same way as Einstein received it.
Amazing.
But this guy acknowledges very heavily that that's where it's coming from. Ramanujan.
I believe him.
He often said, an equation for me has no meaning unless it represents a thought of God.
Wow. Incredible guy.
Now, one time, a friend gave him a complex mathematical question. He asked him the question just there. And within a moment, he gave the answer. Mm-hmm. And the friend was astonished, because I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Good Will Hunting. They had the math whiz on there. A lot of people saw that movie. The guy, you know how they had to go on the blackboard and just write down all these equations, and it filled up entire blackboards in order to get the answer?
Right.
And
Right.
he didn't need that. He just suddenly had the answer. So his friend said to him, how could you possibly have that answer? What is it? And he said, the friend asked him the question. He said, I asked myself, and then the answer came to my mind.
So where did it come from? It didn't come from his mind. It came to his mind. See, that's the most interesting part about it.
The answer was just there like that.
And guys, that's what we're trying to convey to you today, all right? You have access to all information ever existed. So you need to just attune yourself, open yourself, learn how to work with your dreams, because your dreams are like a gateway into all sources of information. Okay, it's like higher education, higher than higher education, right?
Well, and look at this. He wasn't struggling to work through these complex things. He was being given it. And even when his friend asked this question, he asked, what would that answer be? And he received it. It just came to him. So it's being given.
That's a beautiful thing.
It is. And that's the same thing this is the thing is, I'm so excited because this is there for all of you. Every single person that's listening to this, you have the opportunity to receive this information too in the nighttime dreams. You just have to begin to set the intention, start to understand that all the information that ever will be is already out there, and it can be tapped into in your dreams, and you can receive it and bring it back. You can be a true genius. I mean, that you're going to make it look easy when you have that. It starts to flow into you, and it's natural, and it's obvious. We just have to wake up and start to believe that, start to know that kind of, it's possible and it's there.
See, we even have a saying, right? Whenever you need to make a decision and you don't know what to do, you say, what do you say? I need to sleep on it.
I need to sleep on it, yeah.
Right? And why is this saying there? Because when you have something on your mind and you go to sleep, you kind of make an intention, right? You attune yourself. You're trying to tap into the source of information to improve your situation, to make a decision, to decide whether to go into this business or not, you know, to be in the relationship or not. Whatever it is that is on your mind, it's kind of like setting up an intention. And when you go to sleep, bam, your spirit goes to work, right? It goes into the place where it will receive the answer. And lo and behold, you wake up and you know the answer.
Mm-hmm.
But it only happens when you pay attention to your dreams, when you attune yourself with the divine, when you ask God for guidance, when you choose to be the person who is guided by the Spirit.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's talk about another guy.
Right.
You ready?
Oh, I'm excited. These are awesome people.
Okay,
Their last name are hard to pronounce, but they're incredible.
Here's another guy. Okay, now, you've heard of King Solomon, right?
Mm.
And we all know about the legendary wisdom of King Solomon, right? When you think of King Solomon, you think of his wisdom and you think of his riches. I mean, that's just the two things. But do you know where his legendary wisdom came from?
I don't think everybody knows about it.
No, they don't think about where it came from.
Right. They just know that he was wise.
And I'm sure they just think, oh, he was always wise, right?
And I think he was rich because he was wise.
Actually, it says that. Yeah.
Now
So,
I'm a genius.
You're a genius? What the heck? Are you tapping into something here? Now let's take a look here. In 1 Kings, in chapter 3 and verse 5, it's talking about Solomon, King Solomon. And here it says, at Gibeon, the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream by night.
Wow.
Solomon is having a dream, sleeping at night. The Lord appears to him. The Lord asks him basically, I'm going to sum it up because it's a little bit too long to read here, but basically the Lord asks him, what would you like to have in this dream? What would you like to have? Solomon said, therefore give to your servant an understanding heart to judge your people, that I may discern good and evil, for whom is able to judge this great people of yours. He's asking for an understanding heart. He's asking for wisdom. Now,
understanding heart, not the brain.
Right.
See?
Because true wisdom is coming coming from the heart. That's where the true wisdom is coming from.
Representation-wise, right.
And so, and behold, let's go on. So he said, then the speech that pleased the Lord, then Solomon had asked this thing. Then God said to him, because you have asked this thing, and have not asked for long life for yourself, or not asked for riches, nor have asked for the life of your enemies, but you have asked for yourself understanding to discern judgment, behold, I have done according to your word. So he's going to give him this. So I have given you a wise and understanding heart.
Wow.
God has given, and this is all going on in the dream, so that there has not been anyone like you before you. All right, and we skip down to verse 15, still in chapter 3. It says, then Solomon awoke, and indeed it had been a dream.
He was just awoken, and he was a wise man.
So in his dream, God appears before him, asks him, what can I do for you? Solomon says, I want a discerning heart. God gives him a wise and discerning heart. This man is legendary because of his wisdom. He received it at nighttime in a dream.
I love it, Ted.
We know him because he's King Solomon. We know him because of his legend, of his legendary wisdom. But that wisdom was given to him in a dream.
Discerning heart.
Discerning heart.
I love it. Every word is the word of wisdom in these passages.
And this is the thing, is that God is working. He loves all of us, and he wants to give something great to all of us. We have to just be asking in that space at night. Our bodies are resting when we're sleeping at night, but our spirit is traveling into heavenly places. And in those places, as Liza was saying, you can see libraries, you can see books, theories can be open to you, mathematical formulas can be open to you, wisdom can be open to you, ideas, inventions, stories, songs. I mean, the list goes on and on. These are dreams that will change your world, but also change the entire world. And you could be receiving these every single night. You could be receiving a dream like this. You just have to be asking. I love that Solomon had been praying.
And believing that you can. That is the clue, you guys. See? Lots of people want it. They are asking, but they don't have a belief that they can receive it in their dreams. So right now I want to encourage you to kind of examine your system of beliefs. Why are we telling you this? Because this is true. We've done it. We are doing it every night, right?
Absolutely.
That it changed our lives. But also these people, incredible people, they received all the wisdom, inventions were coming to them in the dreams. So this is true. Right now, I want you to examine your beliefs. Do you still have a belief that what you see at night is just regurgitating of what you've seen, throughout the day, or the movie that you saw, or maybe the memories are being cleansed out and washed, whatever? Just let go of this belief and try to receive the belief that through dreams, through dreaming, you can travel to heavenly places, receive incredible wisdom, and become the person that you were created to be, so you can achieve whatever you want in life. This belief will change your life. It's very important. Receive the belief that dreams are real, just like your spiritual life is real. Yes, I know your physical body seems to be very real right now because you can touch it, right? It hurts sometime, right? You know it exists. You can see it, you can feel it. But your spirit is just as alive, and it is real. Your thought is material, right? It is real. Even though you cannot see it and taste it, it's real. Electricity, you cannot see it, right? Unless it's a light bulb that kind of shows you that, yeah, it's there. It's real, right? So when you receive this belief, when you believe that dreams are real and you can enter the dream space and travel to incredible places that are storing information for you, you will be able to do it. And that is the most incredible gift you can give to yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's amazing. I want to look at one thing real quick here. What was Solomon doing before he had this dream? He was praying, and he was praying to God, and he was seeking God. So his heart was being put into that direction. So he was already setting an intention. He wants to talk to God. He wants to hear from God. And now he has this dream. And that's the thing. See, we saw several different things take place. Okay, what do we do? How do we have one of these dreams? All right, start to set your intention. Start to put your focus on God. Start to inquire of Him. I want to receive this information. I need to receive more information, or I want to solve this problem in my life. You can start to put that out there. We also see that, much like when we talked about with Einstein, he received an idea. It wasn't completely fleshed out, but he knew something was there. He kept meditating on it now.
Right.
So Solomon received the wisdom right away. It just was given to him. But Einstein had to meditate on this idea, and he had to continually let it kind of start to take life. And so he began to see more and more of it as he put it down. Okay? And also, if we think about our friend Ramanujan, notice what he did. He is first of all, he is acknowledging it's not coming from him.
Right.
He knows there's something else. He says, let me repeat this again. An equation for me has no meaning unless it represents a thought of God.
A thought of God. I love
He
it.
knows these mathematical equations. He knows they're coming from God, and he knows they're being given to him. He's not saying, hey, I'm a genius. He's acknowledging
we believe he is.
God is giving me this information. And this is one of the keys to being able to continue. As Liza said, if you start to think you're a know-it-all and you start trying to get all those answers out of your head, you block off the source.
Overthinking kills
He
your
was
joy.
very humble. Even though he had done so much, he was very humble in being able to still acknowledge and be open to receive more guidance. Even like when his friend asked him the question, he asked himself, what is the answer? He didn't suddenly start to, use his mind to think about it. The answer just came to him.
I love it. I love it.
So these are a few important points. Set your intention. When you receive an idea, begin to meditate on it. Don't let your own understanding go to work and start to, say, oh, it must mean this or it must mean that. Start to meditate on it. And again, be humble. Ask, what else? What is the answer to this? What does this information mean? Let it come to you. God wants to give it to you. Just like he gave Solomon the wise heart, he wants to give it to you. So if you put your attention towards him, You're going to be having the dreams. You're going to be receiving the information. It happens time and time and time again. And I've been covering throughout history how people have had dreams like this. They're not the only ones. You can have dreams like this too. And I hope you're getting very excited about it.
I'm getting very excited. I can't wait to go to bed tonight. See,
well, it's still morning. You better hang on there.
That's the point. I love dreaming. But see, you don't have to even fall asleep to receive the information. When you train yourself, you just can go into meditation and receive it.
Absolutely.
But you start with dreams. This is the best way to open yourself up. I love it. Thank you, Ted. Very inspirational.
True genius is coming from a divine source flowing down to us.
That's very true.
Let's say a prayer.
Let's say a prayer.
Because I want you to turn your attention towards God like Solomon did. Mm-hmm. And if there's a problem in your life, or if you're looking for a new business idea, maybe a new angle to the business you've already got, maybe you've already explored everything that you know, and you've kind of come to a dead end. It's time to now start turning your attention towards God. Start to seek Him. Just close your eyes right now and start to seek Him and let Him know, you know what, I heard what Ted and Liza said. I heard the stories of these incredible guys, and I'm ready to let myself be opened. I'm ready to receive from a higher place today.
That's right.
I'm ready to receive divine guidance. I'm ready to see the hand of God right on the wall for me. I'm ready to receive the wisdom and the discernment of heart. I'm ready to let go of everything that I think I know so that I can receive something so much more, and that will help me to be lifted into an incredible place and an incredible position. I'm ready to let go of all those other things because I seek the hand and the wisdom of God, and I seek your heart. Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, that you have opened your way, that for every single one of us, for every single person, you have opened the way that while we sleep at night, we can have powerful dreams that give us wisdom, that give us healing, that change our lives. We thank you, God, that your power is working in us. And we know and acknowledge that the wisdom is yours, but we thank you that you let us use it and you let it flow through us, giving us inventions, giving us new businesses, giving us new theories, mathematical formulas, songs, books, whatever it is.
Lord.
We receive it now in Jesus' name. Amen.
Now receive it into your heart. You have it. And now rejoice in it. Be blessed, because you guys can do incredible things. And we're here with you. We're doing it together.
Thank you for joining us on the show today, View from Above. Come back again next week because we're going to be talking about part 4 of Dreams That Change the World. We got more incredible people to talk about and more important things for you to know. I hope you're receiving this message. I know that you're receiving this message, and I know that it will change you like it changed us.
Be blessed today and every day.